Am I the a-hole for letting natural consequences play out on an airplane? We have 3 children, 2 young enough that need parental supervision on a plane, but too old to just sit on my lap.
Can.
And 1 that can.
Can?
Yeah. So 2 that can, not, and 1 that can.
Thanks for clearing that up.
It's a tough age. I booked on an airplane that didn't have assigned seating, but I hope that people would understand as... Have you ever been on a plane?
The thing is, though, it's different if you can't actually choose your seat, right? Because it's one thing if people have chosen their seat or even paid extra money to choose a specific seat and then you're asking them to move. But if no one could choose their seat, I think that is I don't know what the story is yet, but I have a feeling I know what it's going to be. But I feel like, of course, that's going to be problematic if you can't sit with your children.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't think it should be like up to the people sitting everywhere to have to sort it out. I feel like flight attendants should have to sort it out.
Yeah. A single me was always willing to move at a moment's notice for families in this situation. Unfortunately, my fear was realized. The plane was booked to capacity and the seats were about 95% full. There weren't 3 seats together, but there was a row with 2 people and an empty seat between them. One woman offered to move, which would have been perfect if the other one would move. She refused. I absolutely couldn't miss this flight. We had to go to a funeral, and if we didn't make this flight, we would miss it. Work schedules are complicated, and we couldn't lose any more of my income if that's necessary. I pled with her, but she had no interest, and the plane was filling up even faster, making it more impossible.
See, the flight attendants should get involved in this situation. Do you not think? Like, to diffuse what's happening? I don't feel like it's going to slow down everything down, ultimately. And if, like, it's a case of no sites could be chosen before, you obviously have someone that needs to sit with her children. I think the flight attendant should have the authority to say, listen, I'm sorry, you're going to have to move.
But can you get there, like, extra early to be, like, one of the first to go in?
Well, my experience is that when you have children, you're one of the first to board. Like, you can be the first to board. Because, you know, you have the children, but you also might have, like, a stroller or whatever.
I want to get you out of the way. So I did what I had to. I put my older child with the strangers and found the only open seat for 2, which were next to a disabled person. Of course, it was an awful flight. I needed to frequently go check on and help my oldest child. There you go.
I wonder how old the children were. It's vague.
Well, apparently they needed parental supervision, but too old to sit on her lap.
They could be a 3-year-old.
Could it be? Yes, it could.
Goodness me, can you imagine our 2-year-old on the plane?
No.
She's insane.
It would be terrible for everyone.
Where were we? I needed to frequently go check and help my older child, making me frequently leave one child to tend to another, and walk across the whole plane with a baby, being more of a disruption. The woman who wouldn't move got increasingly angry with the situation, but I feel like it's her fault and a natural consequence of not moving. Well, in a way. Am I the a-hole for not apologizing and giving her equally dirty look to the one she gave me?
I failed to see how no one else is getting involved here, like someone who works for the airline.
For the airline.
I would talk to someone. What is the solution here? If you cannot book your seat, or if you cannot get on the plane early enough, what is the solution? You can't just have kids hanging out in different areas by themselves. That doesn't make sense to me. But I feel like it's up to the airline to figure that out. Because we're talking like seatbelt. How do you know the kid's not going to try and open it? That just seems like a hazard.
And I feel like they must have, like you were saying, like procedures for that kind of thing.
I think we've said it before. I don't expect anyone to alter their life because of my, like, situation or my children or blah, 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 blah. It's not for others to bend for what you need, right? Mm-hmm. But if this is how it... If this situation is how this person's presenting it, that there was no way of pre-booking a seat, and you kind of have to take what you get, then I feel like it's reasonable to ask someone to move And yeah, they can say no, but then there's going to be consequences for them too, I guess.
Unless they paid for their seat, like to pre-book it. Why are people so...
Adamant of where they want to sit.
It's crazy to me.
People have all kinds of anxieties or just preferences or being comfortable. And if I'm on a flight and I've taken the time to choose my spot and someone just wants me to put me in a spot that makes me feel uncomfortable, I understand not wanting to do it.
It's just I feel like it's rare that you see someone just being like, oh yeah, I'll change seat. no problem. I guess you don't hear about those stories.
Yeah, that's true. Am I the a-hole? I asked someone to change seats and they said yes.
So, going to the comment, most people say that she is the a-hole.
She is the a-hole, really?
You are the a-hole. Your children are your responsibility. The woman wasn't obligated to move for you. And this was your concern. You should have spoken to a stewardess.
That's fair.
At the gate, and they would have made arrangement for you based on that. That, or you should have booked an airline with assigned seating to avoid this chaos. The woman who didn't offer to move was not at fault. I don't think she was, but then if you're gonna be that stuck up about it and you're getting annoyed at the situation because you didn't want to, like, it's not because you didn't want to move, but you're not being helpful.
Yeah.
You're not to blame for it, but you have to deal with it.
I do agree with that comment though. Like, as I was saying, why is there not like someone who works for the airline involved? But yeah, it kind of is up to the mother to, like I just said, I would have asked someone to get involved.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think she's an a-hole, but I do think she could have helped herself more.
We don't agree necessarily with the you're the a-hole.
But you could have done more.
I have one that goes the other way. You're going to a funeral. No one is the right headspace during these times. And by the sound of it, with finances being an issue, having to spend even a little extra for early boarding might not have been a priority.
Oh wow, they charge for early boarding. Okay. That for me, when I flew, that was just kind of... That was... You didn't have to...
Pay?
Yeah. I am with people who say you should have gone early and spoken to someone about your seating, but overall, not the a-hole. I'm sorry for your loss, and I hope the trip home is a lot smoother.
See, I think they're more aligned with kind of what we're saying.
That's the way we like it.
Not the a-hole, but could have done more to help the situation. I go to the one side that I don't expect people to disrupt themselves for me, but at the same time, I think it'd be nice if we cared a little bit about other people, even if we don't know their full stories, just seeing a situation that might look difficult. And one day might be you in that difficult situation.
Yeah, and on top of it, fine, you don't want to give up your seat, but don't give dirt a look.
Be gracious about it.
Thank you for watching. Bye. Subscribe.
Bye.